This video finds us hovering above one of two stations servicing the established town of Wigan. We await arrival of train number 253, which provides passenger transport between Wigan and Mound Hisherlick, one of a string of smallish towns I plotted and grew from scratch along the map's borders. Once the Baldwin Pool train offloads, picks up new travelers, and performs the famous Mashinky flip, we'll hop into the engine cab and be on our way. Hisherlick, waterways, and various earth rock mounds seen en route were added by me as part of what I term my Scenic improvement project, at the moment largely confined to these border towns. Well, poot. I hope we might catch a glimpse of either of the two other passenger trains that visit this station. Maybe both. But no, luck seems against us. Maybe we'll do better on the return trip. We shall see. Once we round the bend, a mound should come into view at distance to the north. Hisherlick is the second and most recent town created along the map's northern edge. Even at distance, it should be obvious that the town atop the rise is not yet fully developed, with only a relatively few of its houses spawned. In addition to our Wigan to Hisherlick shuttle run, Wigan is also connected by rail to the Northern Tundra Railway. Track runs between Hisherlick and a self-established border town to the east, though passenger service between the two towns has not yet commenced. It will do so once Hisherlick spawns a few more homes. So far as the game is concerned, Hisherlick is simply Station 270 near Wigan, Wigan being its parent town, the town Hisherlick at first depends on for growth. Towns in Mashinky grow by spawning homes along established roads once a certain amount of passenger, mail, and/or box traffic has occurred. If no road section with empty structure space is present, the game spawns one if possible, which isn't always the case. At some point, town road sections tend to spawn in such a way as to cut themselves off for future expansion. At that point, a town ceases to grow unless a player steps in and adds new roadways. This growth method proves useful when establishing player-started towns. Wigan, for instance, long since ceased to grow on its own, nor do I need it to be any bigger than it is. Therefore, any growth Wigan might otherwise receive goes towards spawning structures in towns labeled Station near Wigan, such as Hisherlick. A slight downside in this instance is that Wigan doesn't receive as much passenger traffic as some other of my map's long-established game-generated towns and cities. Thus, growth in Hisherlick is a bit slow. This view of the plain below Hisherlick is really quite lovely. In my opinion, Mashinky sports some very impressive visuals in its realistic mode. These first-person engine cab excursions are a big draw for me. I spend a good bit of game time riding the rails along my more scenically appealing track routes, along with those routes which offer enhanced train spotting opportunities. Oh! My Mount Hisherlick is of course an anal spelling parody of the Mounded Hisherlick of Troy and Trojan War fame. Though pronounced the same, the spelling difference is rather obvious, mine being deliberately trite and juvenile, as will be apparent in this video's closing title card. I might also mention that my various border railways rely on Baldwins and occasionally Porters for the vast bulk of their locomotive power. Why? Neither heavy traffic nor speed matters much here, and in any case, Porters and Baldwins are economical to run compared to their more powerful brethren. Besides, I happen to like their appearance quite a bit, more so than some of their newer, more powerful successors. Well now, we lucked out after all. Here's our sister train, another Northern Tundra shuttle, in this case providing passenger service between Wigan and a self-developed, not yet named northern border town to the east of Hisherlick. That town was plotted not long before Hisherlick, but is more fully spawned, its parent town being more active than Wigan. Here we are, back where our ride began. I hope the zero of you who made it this far weren't too terribly bored. Even I tend to nod off watching these videos, for goodness sake. Admittedly, that's the poor voice narrative they added, and I can kick back and relax to the sounds of steam on rail, unspoiled by the constant ravings of a witless old codger. Be that as it may, as train 253 blurs into depth of field oblivion, I wish you well until next we meet. Thanks for watching.